Soul Survivor.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we are good to go. Yep. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Breaking the Base. This is episode 127, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the Blade film series. Unfortunately, Ken can't join us because he's busy with his life, but I have the awesome Madam B here who always brightens up
Hi.
my day, as well as the content of this channel.
Hi.
Woo! I was around the wrong pipe. uh, so without further ado, let's talk about Blade. Now, for those who don't know who Blade is a Marvel Comics anti-hero slash superhero who is a half human, half vampire hunter who hunts vampires. Now, the movies, there were the movies in which Wesley Snipes playing Blade was, I guess, the first stepping stone to superhero genre as we see today, which I think is a mixture of Spider-Man, X-Men, and Blade.
Yeah.
But and I guess you could say Batman and Superman too. Yeah, okay. But anyways, the movies essentially follow Blade trying to hunt and kill vampires.
in each one, let's just say that.
Yes, but he ends
a
up
different type.
Yeah, he ends up usually fighting different types. At least the bosses will be. I said bosses like this is a video game. The head honchos. All right then. So without further ado, let me stop rambling and let's get on with this video. Now, Madam B, what do you think about the Blade film series? And let me clarify. When I say film series, we mean just the trilogy: Blade, Blade 2, and Blade Trinity.
Okay. Scared me. Well, of course, when I first saw Blade, thought it was off the wall good. It took a minute to see the Blade 2 and Blade Trinity. I actually seen Blade Trinity before I saw Blade 2.
You said you don't remember Blade 2.
Huh?
You said you don't remember Blade 2.
I remember a little bit of it. I said I was going to be a little bit sketchy, and I did ask for your help there.
Yes, you did. You are breaking the base.
Anyway, but I did like the film series. Of course, Wesley Snipes, Blade. As for the, okay, you said the film series. I like the film series altogether as a whole. We'll get to break down the movies.
All right, before we get into anything, I gotta ask questions like this, and I hope you anticipated this. Favorite characters?
Favorite characters? Okay, in Blade,
No, just series-wise.
Series-wise? Okay. Blade.
You like Krabby Patties. That's MademB.
I did like Deacon Frost.
Really, a lot of great personality.
Yeah. Whistler. As for the last one, I couldn't quite place a favorite character for me. What was that, Blade 2?
See,
but I just.
You want me to shoot something out while I let you go ahead and think that over?
I mean, if you want to get smart about it.
Yes, I will. I had a top 10 list, but I'm probably going to name 9 characters instead. Of course, I like Blade. Of course, I like Whistler. Blade is the main protagonist of the series. Whistler is his mentor and a former vampire hunter, as well as a weapons specialist that helps him do his thing. Deacon Frost, who is the main antagonist of the Blade, the first movie, and I think when it comes to the comics, he's actually like his main arch nemesis, I want to say. I remember in the animated series, he was the main bad guy. Yeah. So in the first film, the villain Deacon Frost, great villain, a lot of great personality. I loved Nomak, Jared Nomak from Blade 2, great character. He was just badass. In Blade Trinity, I liked Abigail Whistler, who was Whistler's daughter. I liked Danica Talos. Well, she was the main vampire, one of the main antagonists, and I liked her because she was smart and she had a lot of great personality as well. I like because Ron Perlman's in the series, and of course he's a smart ass.
What about Parker Posey in Trinity? The vampire chick.
That's her, Danica.
No, Parker Posey.
Who was that?
She played. Oh, look at you. She played Danica.
Danica Tyler. That's what I just said.
I thought you meant her. I thought you meant her real name.
Nah, I couldn't remember. And I'm stupid because it's pulled up right here and I didn't even look.
Yeah, you're laughing at me.
But as far as those are like my favorite character. I did like Ryan Reynolds' character, and I think that him being such a humorous character did alleviate a lot of the dark tension that's in the series.
Yeah,
especially him and his the little wordplay he has with Blade, and Blade, you can tell, just does not like him. Mm-hmm. But he was a fan favorite of mine too. All right, which movie? All three movies. Which one was your favorite? The first one?
Yes.
A lot of people like the first one. But I'm going to oppose to that. I love the second one.
Of course you would.
Jared Nomak and I like how, okay, this is how they set up the Blade Trinity movie, the trailer. It said, first he fought their gods, which is when Deacon Frost became a god, the blood god.
Yeah.
Then it said, then he fought their demons, which is the second movie when they had the vampires that would experiment, the new breed, with the tongue and stuff. And then it was like, now he's going to fight their maker, which was Dracula. He was man.
That was not a good Dracula.
No, it wasn't. It was not. I could think of plenty more that was a lot better than that.
You did, yeah.
What's the name? What's that? The guy that played the first Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay. He would have played a better Dracula. Gerard Butler would played a better Dracula.
That's
Luke,
the one from
Phantom of the Opera. Okay. Luke Evans would have played a better Dracula. Everybody else in the world.
He's naming them.
Dracula in that movie was probably one of the lamest ones I've seen. Leslie Nielsen would have played a better Dracula. But yes, I like the second one because it was creative. It was a bit more creative to me, especially with the whole experimentation of the vampires. But like, what are some of your most memorable moments that you can think of?
And the one I like.
All of them. Not all of them. Just shoot. You just throw one. I throw one.
Okay. Memorable moment in Blade. When he was fighting his mom.
He didn't really fight her.
She threw some punches. Look, see y'all, he just, every time I say something, he just, well, he didn't do it.
Well, he really didn't.
She threw some punches until he stabbed her a little bit.
All she did was talk about she loved killing folks, and then Sanaa Lathan just whisked away.
No, she did snarl and tried to throw some punches, but it was there like he had to do it, even though that was his mom. That was a memorable moment to me. My goodness.
No, I'm sorry. I
mean,
I would have liked. I would say that that probably would have been a memorable moment in my eyes, but I didn't see like an emotional moment, like him being emotional about it.
Oh, of course not.
Like I would have liked to see him be like, "Damn, man, that's fucked up."
Wow.
Stab. Something like, I don't know.
Okay.
One of my favorite moments, and of course I'm an action nerd, so I like to go to the action sequences, is of course the Blade versus Nomak fight. Nomak was like, it was like, that's a brutal fight. Like they were throwing punches. It was great, well choreographed. he was slamming Blade through those brick columns and into metal elevator doors, and like I like that fight.
Just like in Blade with Deacon Frost. And
you want the final battle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like that one too. I really like that one too. That was pretty cool. I will admit that was actually a pretty cool one. I still say the Nomad one was more brutal, but it was pretty cool seeing Blade basically fight a guy. Especially that one part, it was just so funny to me when he cut him in half. Like he knocked the sword out of his hand, cut him in half, but then his body like reattached itself, and then Blade started doing all this.
Now he was like, he turned, like.
I like the. It's just funny because he was like Blade came up to him, he was like with his sword, and then Deacon was like. Like I like that. I thought that was very humorous.
Blade, he threw the punches like so quickly, and then Deacon was like, "My turn."
Then he did it. Yeah. I think one of the best moments in the. And no, I'm gonna go to a moment I wish would have happened.
Okay.
It was the moment where Donnie Yen was in a movie, and he was a fighter. He was a weapons specialist with a sword. I was pissed off, and I like the movie, but it still pisses me off every time I see it. Why was there never a fight between those two? You have Blade fight a vampire that has the same strength and speed and can fight with a sword and new martial arts. Like that was a missed opportunity.
Okay, well, the same reason why you did say in the and this is a different movie, when one of the Resident Evils, you said that she should have, the fight with the other dude should have went on longer.
The Asian guy. Yeah, because he came off like he would be a rival to her.
Yeah.
And then when they were fighting, he was actually I wasn't gonna say so. He was actually beating her up.
Yeah.
So.
But she just did something, of course.
And I'll say that was probably one of the biggest missed opportunities in the second movie. But other than that, the movie was actually pretty good. And of course, you remember Scud, the guy from Walking Dead. The dude with the bow and arrow, crossbow.
Scud.
That's what the guy's name in the movie was.
Oh.
Norman Reedus. Yeah, he was in the second one. He was the tech guy that betrayed him in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, like I like his character too, but he was really young. That boy, he was fresh out of college. But what was I saying?
Well, how did you like in 2 them? All of them teaming up together when he was so used to going solo.
I thought it was good, and it also showed it was like a developing. I know they said there wasn't a lot of character development in it, but it also showed Blade that there are, despite him not liking vampires, that on the other side there are some decent ones, because he did like the chick. He ended up liking the chick at the end. She came to romantic interest, and I liked her character, though she did not do much.
At the end? Romantic? Who?
Blade. That was like his romantic interest in the movie.
At the end of Blade or Blade Trinity?
2.
Blade 2. Okay, like I said, that one is the one I keep missing out on. Okay, because I know in Trinity that was Whistler's daughter, which it kind of threw me for a loop, but I'm like.
Yeah, Nisa, the Moschino. Yeah.
Well, what about the chick in the first one? What did you think they could have?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was more. It could have been more of like they could work together, but I didn't really see it as
she was a doctor, helped him with his serum and stuff.
But I didn't really see like a romance, because even in this it said there is a hint of sexual tension between her and Blade, and you see it in the movie. You can see that they kind of vibe, even though they might not trust each other. But I think that I did really like her character. And again, I had to say this. Look, I like Donnie Yen, but that whole thing with him getting killed off the way he did, and not and not like at the end when he killed Ron Perlman. That's when either he should have fought Donnie Yen before that or Donnie Yen after that. That would have been epic. But they didn't. But Donnie Yen got killed off by the big brute guy, which I douchebag.
So would you say that in the 3 movies, I'm still, it's like his. Okay, you said like in some of them you'll see like a hint of something, but in the 3 movies, did his character change, or was he still just as like tough and hard as in the first one?
His ultimately he doesn't change, but there are certain little things he ends up having to adapt to. Like in the first movie, he had to learn how to lean on someone else outside of Whistler, which was the black chick. And then he ended up, she ended up basically saving his life. And then also there is the moment with him and his mother, which I said I liked, but I wish it would have been a little bit more emotional. Like you've seen a little bit more emotion to his character.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my mom. I can't believe she's saying this. I have to kill her. Now I'm going to take my anger and frustration and take it out on you because it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like you didn't see that.
Yeah, it showed him being more, having the feelings with Whistler. Whistler was the one who got him off the street, raised him. He was very, both times when they said Whistler was dead, he was just, you can see
some emotion there. In the second movie, of course, he's he's learning how to work with a team. And that's
as well as the third movie.
And of course, tension there, the vampires, tension with these because he don't know them.
Yeah.
And they do, and like I said, they do kind of come off kind of not serious about it.
Yeah.
Which is why he went off on them.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's understandable. You're making jokes and stuff. But then he did have a love interest, which was Nisa, that she did die. And you can tell that's another moment where you can see it was emotional for him. And then in the third movie, dealing with Whistler's death.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about like where the series would have gone. Like, would he still been working with them or still been working alone? Because at this point, it's like Blade. Even though you are kicking vampire butt everywhere,
right.
If it wasn't for Whistler, you wouldn't be where you are because he's taught you, he's giving you the weaponry and equipment you need. He's got the connections that's helping you out, and he's also giving you the support you need when you know. But then again, in Blade Trinity, he supposedly killed all the vampires, which honestly I don't like that whole kill all the vampires in that area, but not across the planet. No.
Yeah, because like in 2, there was like a new breed he had to deal with
that were immune to almost every weakness except for sunlight. Yeah, sunlight and stabbing them in the heart. Those are the only 2 ways they can kill them. But it was hard to stab in the heart because they had like such a thick bone constructed over their hearts and stuff. But
besides him, Blaze being, when he gets out of serum, he gets weak. Do you think he should have another weakness, or does he have another weakness, or what do you like?
Like I said, outside of that, didn't really know. Because the only advantage he got from humans is he just don't. Yeah, he like things that are like we're not. Silver isn't lethal to us. Garlic isn't lethal to us. Sunlight ain't lethal to us. So it would make sense for him to actually not have those types of weaknesses. That's it. They're the actual good hybrid. And yes, that whole thirst thing. Yes, that would make for a very good weakness for his character. Now I would like to see like a 4th movie where you see him lose control and possibly kill somebody.
Well, I do remember in the second one, he did get thrown in that thing of blood.
Yeah, he fell down because he was so weak.
To feed and get back his strength.
That's and in fact,
And
yeah, that's what happened in the first
one,
movie. Yeah,
he had to drink the blood from her, so he can lose control, but it's like not so much as he just goes off the hinge, and you know.
Yeah, and the thing about it was just they almost bled him dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to see him just like somebody just keep him in a cage for like 2 weeks and see what happens. Throw a little kid in there and see what happens.
Wow.
I seen something like that, a movie or something like that. Where they did some kind of skit like that or scene like that. Now I'm thinking about the bad guy. No, I'm going to go with the supporting chicks.
Okay.
You had I'm gonna stop saying black chick, 'cause that's not cool. You had Dr. Karen Jensen.
Mm-hmm.
You have Nisa Demiskinos, and then you have Abigail Whistler. Now, of all those, if the ones you might remember, most likely be Karen and Abigail.
Yeah.
Like, which one of them do you like the most?
Well, it's kind of hard to choose because Abigail, she was a fighter. She knew like what was going on in the world. She knew about vampires. She knew all of that, and she was a fighter, so she was pretty good. I mean, Karen didn't know nothing. She was caught off by surprise, so she just knew. Like when she found out, she was like kind of creeped out about it. But I wouldn't actually say she's the best supporting female character of Blade.
I gotta say she is. I think she is because she's normal.
Well, yeah.
And she got thrown into that situation, and she even proved helpful in the situation. Okay. I like Abigail Whistler's character, but she did the same thing that girl did in the animated series. These vampires are supposed to be faster, stronger, and more.
I do remember that.
And more durable.
The girl, she in the animated series, she was
wiping them out.
Yeah, she was. What did she have, a sword?
No, all she had was like some I want to say brass knuckles with the blade on them.
Okay.
I want to say that, and she had a blade in her boot. But I know she used that blade in her boot a lot. But I'm like, remember when she first, Abigail first they reveal her. She kills them like 4 vampires in like a minute. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, they're supposed to be faster and stronger than people. I can understand you possibly killing maybe 1, maybe 2, but to sit there and take them all on and
listening to music.
Like, yes, I never liked that.
Your kid was like, there is no way.
Yeah, because if you're in a fight like that, you're gonna need your senses. You can't listen to music and be in a fight like that. It doesn't make sense. It's not plausible. It's like me going into a gunfight and having some headphones on. You got fast, I get shot. Ralph, watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rap, pow. Okay. But like that, I like her character because, yes, I wouldn't mind her.
She was more help. Like I said, she had the necessary whatever to help him out. I know Karen then, but she, like you said, she was normal. Mm-hmm. It's like I do give her that.
It's just the whole Abigail thing is she just felt, as far as a character, she felt too forced. She's like, yes, it's a good character. It's cool to have Whistler's daughter helping him. Yes, she can fight and stuff, but y'all made her like she's like the part where she's fighting all of those guards. Mm-hmm. No, that's too much. Too much. So like, okay, y'all forced her. Y'all trying to be like on the top. Like, you know how on movies they have them top 10 list of badass women in movies.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to throw her on that list.
Like, did you like the story of how she came to be?
I understood. It was plausible. I enjoyed it. It made sense.
Okay, because vampire killed his family, and then so Whistler went on and he had a man with another woman, and there she was. Mm-hmm. So she found him. He trained her, which I would have really loved to see some flashbacks.
Yeah, it would be nice to see some sequences, but I will give you that. It makes sense. Okay. But like her character was just that. I liked Nissa's character because she did bring some emotional weight to the second film. My problem with her was she didn't do enough. Like I cannot remember one scene. I only remember one scene when she was like badass, and that's when she first met Blade, and there was this like really cool sword fight. Like that was it. That was the only scene she had a great moment. Everything else, and it seemed like okay, they took all of the awesomeness from her and put it in Abigail to try to double up her awesomeness. Like no, y'all could have gave Nisa a great moment. Like she just was like the love interest slash kinda damsel in distress, but she was a very likable character. Like everybody, like all the vampires around her were like bloodthirsty and stuff. She was the only one that kind of had some kind of like reasoning behind it. Her and that black guy, but the rest of them were like, ugh. So as far as all of them, I think Karen was the most likable. I didn't Nisa and just Abigail was too much of a stretch. Like Blake Trinity is over the top. They made her character over the top. Okay then, match this. Villain. Frost, Nomak, or Dracula?
Well, like I said, I'm kind of picturing Nomak.
I'll bring it up.
He was bald headed, wasn't
he? Yeah, he looked like Nosferatu.
Okay. And I'm sort of. Oh, I do remember him. He was the badass, ugly, but.
Remember we was watching Hellboy 2, The Prince?
Yeah.
Same guy.
Okay. Well, like to be honest, for the one I did remember, I would have to go with Deacon Frost because they had this kind of chemistry. Like Deacon, he's been hunting him since forever, and then while he's hunting him, Deacon is trying to take control of the purebloods, and he wants to become a pure blood, and he wants them to get Frost, and so yeah.
I like Frost because he had so much personality.
Yeah.
He was like a dick, but at the same time, like you could kind of see you hanging with him a little bit. I really enjoyed that because he did have that personality. I like Nomak because Nomak was more of a sympathetic character because his dad did that to him. That's why he is what he is. And plus, like as far as badassery goes, Nomak takes it. Like if you want to see Blade be physically challenged, Nomak had him. He had him all the way. Now, what did you think about Dracula?
Well, to be honest, I thought it was first I thought it was Bane they were resurrecting. To be honest, I don't know why. But because the way he came out, and it was like I'm like, is that Bane? But okay, he needed a little bit more. Like you said, to be honest, I really don't remember much.
He don't have any moment. He don't have any good moments.
Yeah, I really don't remember much of the fight between him and Dracula, except Dracula laid down so pretty and just he got burnt up by the.
He just laid there.
Yeah, he just laid there so pretty.
That's what I said. I'm tired.
Yeah.
My thing with him, the only moment he had, the only moment that I just like, I loved him for that moment, was the part where he was like, Blade, ready to die. He was like, Blade's like, I was born ready, motherfucker. He was like, motherfucker, I like that. That's my favorite. That right there was my shit. I love that line. He did. But, yeah, Dracula was the weakest one. If he's supposed to be the progenitor, he's supposed to be. This is one of those moments like, yeah, him and Blade had this really cool fight, but it should have been a moment where he was
Did he have an accent?
No.
Would you have taken an accent? Some sort of, not like I want to suck your blood, not like that, but in some sort of accent.
I guess.
I mean,
it don't matter to me.
I mean, Dracula is old. Would you have taken Penny Dreadful's Dracula?
You know, he had personality. He just didn't get much to do.
He did not get much time. I do agree with that.
Like I could see
all
him.
The time, and then all of a sudden, that's who's like that's
and I'm like, okay, I kind of figured he was Dracula, but it's like he didn't do anything. I wanted to see him whoop some butt. I mean, he did fight them and he kicked their butts, but the whole time you thinking it's going to be a Talbot versus Dracula fight, and that never came.
Yeah.
But as far as Dracula in this, like, he didn't get no moments. I'm like, okay, if you're the progenitor, I want to see you do some stuff. And remember, I pointed out when we were talking about Blade Trinity, he did that Queen of the Damn thing where he's supposed to be getting some flashbacks of Egypt and him doing stuff, but all we saw was the red stuff and all that. I'm like, no, give us some flashbacks.
Okay, if you could find another protagonist or antagonist, if they didn't do Dracula, who could they have done? For Blade I know Dracula is but is there anybody else?
See, the thing about it is, Nomak was an original character, I believe.
Okay.
Deacon Frost is actually a character from the comics, and of course Dracula is a character from literature.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I guess you could say Carmilla, because Carmilla, the vampire, there was technically that was written about before Dracula. I think it's like about 80 years or something like that. I listened to the audiobook. That was a shitty story. It was a cool story, but it was boring. Boring as hell. And the main protagonist was an idiot. But I can kind of understand for that time period. But I would like to see him go up against like a female. Like if it was Carmilla, cool. Like say if they had a Blade 4, Carmilla could have been like Queen Akasha or something.
Yeah.
Been like Drake.
Only a much more.
Like been like Dracula's actual bride or something. And it's like, okay, you killed my husband. I'm coming to cause all types of mayhem and debauchery.
Yeah, because Akasha and Queen of the Damn, Aaliyah, but she didn't get much, and they had it to where she was. Anyway, yeah, female would, but I don't know why they don't want to
do a fourth one.
Yeah,
cause they ain't got no sense. When something's common sense, they won't do it, and if it did, and when they do it, they'll do it in like sloppy and not give a crap.
They'll mess it up, and then it's like should left that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they could easily do a fourth one, and I'm behind the Blade film being the fourth one. And also, remember I said I brought up that I believe the Blade movies should be a part of the MCU. At first I said no. I like nah, but then I watched the individual stories of the other guys. I was like, what happens here? Nobody outside of that group knows that's what happens. I'm like, okay, it could make sense. And then I watched the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the television shows. So all of these smaller stories are happening, but then it's not affecting like the main story. So I'm like, yes, Blade could technically happen, and I'm like, yeah, I would like to see it actually be a part of the MCU, and I wouldn't mind Wesley Snipes returning to the role. But like I said, I like Jared Nomak, I like Deacon Frost. It's just Dracula's character was just such a weak character. He didn't have any personality. He didn't have no charisma.
He didn't know how to dress.
They tried to make him sound sophisticated and philosophical in certain parts. And like they had this one sequence, I told you that chase sequence. I was like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
And then Dracula comes and kills the whole squad of people off, like it ain't nothing. Not to mention, I don't even know how the hell he found them, but he did some kind of way.
Yeah.
That whole demon appearance and stuff was cool, but they didn't do anything with it. Like, if this is Dracula, the original vampire, you should have the skies darkening and stuff like that. Maybe if they if they would gave him like a bit of magical prowess or something like that. Because Bram Stoker's, he had a bit of magical powers powers or whatever. He can even transform. Like, I would have liked to seen a bit more stuff like that.
Would you have taken the final fight being up against Danica? No?
Mm-mm. Maybe, as far as fights go, if he were, say he bit Danica and enhanced her. Because he did, I guess they did have sex at some point.
Didn't he enhance her?
I don't know. Because she died from the virus.
Yeah, so they didn't really give her a chance to, if he did.
I don't know, because then again, he died from the virus too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He didn't fight it much. He laid down so pretty.
I mean, it was that part when he slammed, now that part when he slammed Blade, that part was kind of cool because the way they shot it. He's like, boo! I was like, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
But Dracula's character should have been that character. Everybody had to band together to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, but everybody was like fighting all their little individual battles and stuff. And I'm like, no, you should have had everybody like trying to take this guy out. Honestly, it was an entertaining fight between him and Blade. It just wasn't anything special. It wasn't just anything special. And the guy that they got to play him, they Dominic Purcell,
Dominic,
whatever. He don't need to play Dracula no more. You gonna play a character like that, and yes, he had like this. He had on neck.
Okay. All right. So we ran over through the third one. My second one's kind of a little sketchy to me. But what is your most memorable moment in the second one?
A lot of them. First, it was the first opening sequence. These vampires run out this warehouse. Blade's hunting them down. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite moments in it is they manage to get out at the bottom. He's still at the top, and he does this. Mm-hmm. Runs, jumps out the door or window, falls down like 3 stories, lands, turns up, and shoots one of them. I was like, cool. The fight scene where those 2 vampires, Nisa and that black guy, infiltrated his headquarters, and he fought both of them. Great fight sequence. His interactions with Ron Perlman's character. Ron Perlman is a dick in that movie. He's constantly messing with him, pushing him. It was even this one moment they were in the club, and he pointed a gun. He aimed his gun at Blade. Of course, you can see the laser. He's like, I could just shoot him right here. But then dude's like, he got you too. Now you can see that Blade had a gun point. But Blade wasn't even looking at him. He just had a gun pointed at him too. So like moments like that. Of course, the whole Jared, Nomad, Blade fight. The whole part where they were in the sewers. Then they all got overrun with all of these damn half-breeds, new breeds, whatever you want to call them. The moment where Blade's almost dead, and Whistler is trying to be like, Blade, get up, go jump in the blood, the water, the blood, and all that. You know, so Blade 2 had a lot of great moments.
And well, since the third one didn't have any kind of like creatures or anything like that, okay, what do you think about the design of the creatures in the second one?
I think they were great. It was a great throwback to the Nosferatu.
With their mouth open.
There's a series called The Strain, and those vampires are similar to those. Instead of in The Strain though, their mouths don't do like that. Their jaws like that, and their tongue shoots out, and they hook you in your neck, and that's how they look similar to that. And plus, I'm waiting to see the series. I read the books, great books, and I'm waiting to see the series.
Was there anything they could have done better in there?
Blade 2?
Yeah. They
should have had a Donnie Yen versus Blade fight. There's no reason to have 2 master martial artists. Well, I guess 2 expert martial artists in the same movie, and they don't have no fight like that. That's the only tidbit about that. Not to mention Blade and Nomak had 2 fights in the movie. And the first one was pretty cool. This is when he found out that garlic and silver don't work on him. He was like, he got up on, they were fighting, and these things came out like, I don't know what they were, but if he punched a vampire, it injected garlic into him. And there was one part he was like da 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 da, and it said chink, pow, knocked him back, and then the dude was like then you can see that it was like hurting him, but then he like recovered from it. Like I was like, that's cool, stylish and stuff. So
on the when he recovered Whistler, they had him for 2 years and turned into a vampire. The part about him turning Whistler back into a human with the serum, is that what did you think of that?
I thought it was good, especially when they established in the first movie that there was a cure, and they had a credible character. They had a credible character there that made it plausible, made it believable. And then Scud's character, and then again it got reinforced again in the third movie with Ryan Reynolds' character, who said he was a vampire at one point. Then he changed him back. Because you think about if you think about the vampires or whatever, it's like your physiology don't change that much. You still about the same. You just
but did Whistler feed? After 2 years of being a vampire, it was.
No, I think personally, even though they did make him a vampire, I think they used him like a blood bank most of the time.
Oh, okay.
That's why he was in that tube thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were doing with him. Which I did like that in the second movie. There was like no trust. He was like kind of hesitant to trust him, even though he did. Yeah. I want to say. And while we at it, let's go down the list of the things they could have did better in the third movie. I
thought we did that.
No, okay. We were talking about Drake. Okay. That was the whole list in his own. I do like the whole tidbit that they had. They started using humans to hunt Blade. Great, that was great subplot.
Yeah. And then they had him out to be a bad guy because it's like Blade and killed a human. So.
And he had a whole rap sheet before that.
Yeah.
So I like that. I would have liked. They had the one officer guy that was like, "You're taking my prisoner," and he was like, "You remember?" I wish they would have played it to where Blade went to him for help. Then he learned about the vampires, so that would introduce a potentially new character to the scene. Like I would have liked that. With his character, because like you introduced this guy and he like kicked him off. I'm like, no, that was a potentially good story right there.
And everybody in the third one, when they captured him, and it seemed like everybody was a part of that thing, whatever it was. So
yeah. Also, I'm not gonna say much about the humor because I like the humor. But there were certain things in the, as far as like first that group, they could have did a lot better with that group. There's like if you look at that group, you like there's no one here y'all vampire hunters. You're not physically trained.
The blind woman and her kid.
Like, her maybe. But everybody else like no. It's like y'all don't train. I didn't see them training or nothing like that. Y'all talking about y'all know vampires, y'all don't look it. Again, that's when Blade went off, and I was like, yeah, his reservations are quite warranted. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with Abigail being so much a badass, no. The whole thing with her putting them earphones on, I don't know whose third grade kid thought that was a good idea, but don't listen to him anymore. That was dumb. Didn't make any sense. And I wish I could play that clip right now where Blade like, oh, what's that supposed to be, tactical? But the reason I say I like the humor because it's nice to see a character like that mess with Blade, and then possibly at the end of the movie earn Blade's respect.
And you said like when they were out in broad daylight
with guns and stuff. I'm like, really? What was the point?
I mean, they had them like they were walking past people like. Like ready.
I'm like, no, cops would have been got y'all at this point. Y'all supposed to be undercover. You're supposed to be smart. You can't walk in broad daylight with a sword and battle armor on and guns and like, come on now, really? That's just goofy. Even what was I going to say?
Okay, well, can we go? We'll go to the first one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
The first beginning of the first one. Did you like that? I did like that scene.
So with the mother and the baby.
No, I'm talking about when he went after.
Oh, the club.
Yeah.
The club. Yes, the club. That was a great introduction to like the entire series.
Yeah,
that was a great one. That was probably one of the best sequences. I need to put that on my top 10.
Yeah, with the glasses and then the white teeth, and he just was like, they just started coming at him. He just with the sword. I did like that. Good introduction.
I like that. He just. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like the henchman guy he had, because he's one of those guys that has like that. He's kind of an idiot, but he's not an idiot all the way. He seems like he's kind of fun. Like if I was like a bad guy under him, I could kind of joke with this guy. So I kind of liked him too, even though Blade beat his butt the entire movie.
The one that Deacon Frost had.
Yeah, remember Blade cut his hand off, then he lost his hand again. Yeah. And then Blade shoved his face against a speeding subway train. Even his girlfriend, I actually liked his girlfriend, though she didn't get as much the spotlight as I would have liked her to.
The little mini fight between her and Karen, like Karen sprayed
that garlic stuff in her mouth.
And she blew up.
The one problem I had with the first film was the shaky camera.
Okay.
Like the part where they was frying that fat vampire, the camera was like. I was like, what are you doing? Are you doing this shining the light on him? You don't gotta do all this. Flip flop.
Pearl. You need me, Frost.
Oh man. But I would like to see a fourth movie. I definitely want us to come back and shoot a video, like potential ideas for a fourth Blade movie. Casting and characters and stuff like that. Maybe even look up some vampires to some famous vampires or something to be like his main antagonist. That seems like something you'd be interested in doing. Okay.
One other question. His armor, Blade's armor, his whole outfit. Did you like it?
I liked it, and but my only issue I had with that is like you cannot go everywhere with that. Like he should have had different sets or something. Like if you're gonna go into a warehouse full of vampires, wear this. You can't always wear your it's like Iron Man. You got to have different outfits for different situations. Like Captain America, same thing. You know, it's a great looking outfit.
Was the coat too much?
At times, like if. And like it goes back to what we was talking about, the whole them going out into the daylight type thing. Like if it's out in the middle of the day, have your overcoat, cover up your weapons. If you're going to if you're going to go infiltrate a place, a bad guy's hideout or something, lose the overcoat. Go full black tactical.
All right, lighter so the coat won't get in the way.
And people won't hear it. It won't shimmy in the light and stuff. But I am happy to say that I'm glad to say that at least his outfits do change from movie from time to time. That they did change, but it wasn't like he had like a wardrobe and he's like, okay, well I'm gonna need it's gonna be a heavily armed place, so I'm gonna need armor plated. This just gonna be a little shake up or something. I'm just gonna wear this for speed, kind of like Batman too, to some extent.
Yeah. Like when he did his sword and there's a thing in the back of his coat where he put his sword. So I mean,
like that part like didn't seem plausible. That like him with the sword, that should only be like when he's going on a mission, like an undercover mission at night.
Everything else it should be like the little silver stakes, maybe guns or something like that.
But you gotta have your overcoat to cover it up.
Okay.
So that's just about it. That's about it.
Okay.
So, any other questions you'd like to ask? Narik?
No, not really. Just I did like the first Blade. I wish theater, kind of a little bit of the second one, but all in all, I did like the first one. Good introduction to the Blade series.
Okay then. Well, you heard it, guys. In the comment section below, let us know which one of the Blade films is your absolute favorite.
Missed anything?
We probably missed a lot. And let us know, besides which movie is your favorite, which are your favorite characters as well.
Villain.
And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel, as well as stay tuned for Tuesdays and Thursdays. We do upload videos. And Madam B and Eric Chase, catch you guys later.